is where the fun begins. This is where the fun begins. This is where the fun. This is where the fun. This is where the fun begins.
Who's the big guy with the muscles?
This is where the fun begins.
Who's the big guy with the muscles?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to a special, apparently solo, Saturday night Toy Anxiety, Saturday night's main event. Welcome to my show. No one can interrupt me. Nobody can give me shit. It's going to be great. It's going to be relaxing. We're going to talk toys. We're going to open toys. Talk to the chat. It's going to be great. I hope everyone's having a great weekend. Geek Dad Jay might join me. I'm not sure if he will or not. We will see. If he shows up, he shows up. Hi, everybody. Welcome to my world. So we do not have a normal Toy Anxiety coming up this week on Tuesday. So Ryan Dole is traveling. He's out in another part of Canada. He's domestically traveling, but he is doing all sorts of stuff, catching up with old friends and partying and buying toys, I'm sure. So Ryan will not be with us next week. And then we are also traveling. We're going to be heading down to Disney World and Halloween Horror Nights at Universal, which we do every year. So this will be the makeup episode for next Tuesday, but have no fear. We will return Halloween night. That's how dedicated the Toy Anxiety crew is. In costume. We want everybody to dress up and join us for a stream on Halloween night. Oh my God. I thought I was going to be by myself. I almost quit. And then since we have a wrestling theme tonight, let me tag team him in. Here he is. Mr. Geek Dad Jay, what's up, man?
How's it going, Craig? How's it going? I didn't realize it was just you and me. I thought maybe I was filling in for Dole or somebody.
Well, I was just explaining to the listening and watching audience, we don't have an episode next week.
Yes, that's right.
Because we're traveling.
Yep.
But on Halloween night, we are doing Toy Anxiety live in costume.
Ooh, yeah, I think Dole was mentioning something along those lines.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll be back or not.
Won't, I don't think.
I don't think he will.
Which is sorry, Dole, that's messed up. Just gonna say it. Gotta call it. Gotta call it out.
The Halloween special. I think there's a chance Kyle from Super 7 might join us that night.
Ooh, very nice.
Maybe we'll have friends tag in throughout the night and
oh, that'd be fun. Yeah.
Update us on their Halloween costumes. Jay, welcome to the show. I'm sure everybody here knows Geek Dad Life. Loose format tonight, so I appreciate you being here. I hope I didn't interrupt the family dinner.
Oh, no, you're fine. We went pumpkin picking at the pumpkin patch today, and then for the first time ever, shockingly, I'd never seen this movie in theater. Back to the Future is in theaters today.
Let me ask you this.
Okay.
Did you have a crowd?
Yeah, it was packed.
Okay. How good is Back to the Future when you watch it on the big screen?
It's awesome. I mean, it's magical. To be completely honest, like it's always been one of my favorite movies. Which honestly, I feel like it's like anybody that grew up in our range of time.
I don't trust somebody who says they don't like Back to the Future.
Right? It's just
not somebody I would trust.
And it's not even just like the geekery of it. I just think even like movie nerds think it's one of the best movies ever. But seeing it in theater, I feel like I got it on a whole nother level just because it's so crisp. Like this, like there's no moment where I want to go to the bathroom or feel like even if I go away for a second, like it's just nonstop. Everything ties together so well. It's perfect. I think it's perfect.
And how funny is it when you see it with a crowd?
Hearing laughs in a crowd for the first time was special, or just all of Doc Brown's looks just got laughs, like all
Yeah.
of them.
You know, I think it has something to do with when you watch a movie at home, especially now, there's
Yeah.
always distractions. There's
Yep.
always a pause or a rewind, or somebody sat on the remote or your
Sure.
bathroom, you know, whatever.
Yep.
I remember we saw, and we're gonna say hi to the chat here in a second. Don't you worry, guys, because we appreciate you being here on a weird time on a weird night. We saw Batman Forever in theaters a couple years ago.
Ooh, I saw that in theaters in 1996, but I haven't seen it
Right.
since.
So, that's a movie I've seen I've seen that movie, I don't know, 200 times. I used to have it on rotation, my VHS rotation.
Oh, yeah.
Love Batman
Same.
Forever.
Same.
Watching it in a theater a couple years ago, a movie I've seen so many times, and maybe I'm just the only one, but I never realized, it never dawned on me, even in my adult life, that when Jim Carrey starts being successful as Edward Nygma,
Mm-hmm.
and he, you know, they go to the ball,
Yep.
he is trying to look like Bruce Wayne. Same haircut, same suit. He adds a mole to his face that is not there, that only Val Kilmer has. And he even asks his date or whatever, says, "How's my mole?" And it never once clicked. I was like, oh, he's obsessed with Bruce Wayne and he's trying to look like and emulate him. And
Wow, that
it
didn't
was
track.
it was mind blowing. And I would Jacob. By the way, happy birthday, Jacob.
Happy birthday.
Same thing. We walked out. He was like, I never realized that piece of the story, and I think it has to do with, you're in a theater, you're watching it as an adult, and you're taking it in. No
Mhm.
distractions, dark
Yep.
room, big screen. So,
Yep.
anyways, well, that's awesome. Yeah.
Because even Colleen, she's like, well, you've seen it 100 times, like, you know. And I was like, well, there's just something about, one, experiencing in theater is magical, but two, I see things that I don't see, that I've never, like, because I've seen Ghostbusters now in theater probably 5 times or
Right.
so, because they brought it back out a few times now. And even still, like, each time I see it in theater, I see something new that I didn't see before on the big screen.
A lot of times it's facial expressions on background characters and things
Yes.
like that.
Yeah. I had that with his sister in one scene. But the one thing that kind of just caught my eye the most, I never noticed it before, but like when he wakes up, when Marty wakes up in bed, like 12:30, whatever, Doc calls him, but hey, you didn't forget about meeting me, did you? I never noticed that there was like an open Carmelo's candy bar sitting on his nightstand.
Okay.
And then he calls them, and I was like, gosh, just chocolate sitting out. Like, that's what's going to get ants. Like, what is he thinking? But he wakes up, answers it, and he grabs that piece that was sitting on the thing and he eats it. And I was like, I never noticed that, but I've watched that movie countless times.
You know what the funniest line in that movie is? Or actually, the first dinner scene with George and Lorraine.
Yes.
And
the brother and sister. Yeah.
They don't do those kinds of scenes in movies anymore. They really don't. It's so it's so well done and so funny.
Yeah.
And even like the brother and the sister, who each have like 3 lines, every line kills.
Yes.
She's like, that was so stupid. Grandpa hit him with the car.
Yes.
What's the line Lorraine says? What were you doing? Bird watching?
Bird watching? Huh?
What, Lorraine?
What, Lorraine?
And then the payoff, 30 minutes later.
Peeping Tom.
Oh, it's so good. Okay. This is not a Back to the Future podcast, but
maybe it is. Maybe it should be.
Maybe tonight it is.
Okay, can I ask a question?
Yeah, sure.
Your Ghostbuster themed podcast channel, etc. is titled after a throwaway line, but it's a legendary line, and then so it's Yes Have Some. What would be your Back to the Future themed podcast channel that would have a similar line to Yes Have Some? What would be
so like an obscure, kind of like a not Great Scott or
like fans get it, but maybe people that are more casual wouldn't pick it up right away.
I don't know, maybe the Marvin Berry podcast. That's not really a line, but that's like an obscure part. I'm trying to. Oh, you know what it would be for me, because it's my favorite line, and I think it's in Back to the Future one. Is no, it's in Back to the Future 2.
Who cares? Whatever.
Which my favorite line is, I think he stole his wallet.
Yes, that's it. That is it. I think he stole it. He said it. He says it like twice or three times. I always thought that was a weird line.
He's so proud of himself. Hey, that guy just stole that guy's wallet. I think he stole his wallet. It's so funny.
That's it. That has the same energy. The same energy is. Yes, have some.
A friend of the podcast and somebody who supported us for a long time, Caitlin Larkin, actually has one of the only active Back to the Future podcasts. It's called What the Flux. And I think it's similar to Ghostbusters. They don't, I think they do it seasonally now because, I mean, there's not a whole lot of Back to the Future news happening all the time.
That's true. It's not like Ghostbusters where there's been slightly more. Yeah.
So, but they're great and she's awesome. So check out What the Flux podcast. Happy Back to the Future Day, everybody. I never got a Matty Collector hoverboard, even though Bob Gale screwed it up or got mad about it, or it's not accurate. I don't know. I still want one.
I do not have one yet. They're not. Are they expensive?
There was a time where they shot up in price. I think they've come down a little bit. But
I've had one since I got it. It's been back here the whole time on my channel.
Been back here the entire time.
But it's okay. It's not perfect.
I mean, it's
a Matty Collector prop,
Yeah,
I'm waiting for the
HasLab. 2011, right? Yeah. We need Hasbro to get that Back to the Future.
Exactly. Like it's much like they fixed all of our Ghostbuster props. We need him to come in and give us a true Mattel hoverboard.
This is funny. Make like a tree and listen podcast. That's pretty good. Oh
damn, that's pretty good, Derek Hoover.
Let's say hi to the chat. And we'll get cooking here. Ray, Death Ray is here. PD Dubs, Country Boy 9, Derek Hoover, Popular Tripe, all the way from the United Kingdom. Hello. Ollie Jones, also, I believe, from the United Kingdom. Modos 23, Cone Killer Confusor. We already said hi to Derek Hoover, but Soulcraft is here. Nate is here. Darthrian is here. Darthrian. Sorry. Too Bad Dad. I Brandon 3G. Jason Grahowski. Nolan. Black Phoenix. Joey. Curiel. Johnny Cock is here. Flash, keep correcting me. Dustin McFinkelstein, Stein, and so on and so on.
Actually, I think that one's Steen. I'm kidding.
Okay. Lots of people hanging out. We appreciate it. Go ahead and give the video a like. Go ahead and give it a sub. This is my second stream this week, and I'm just going to confess.
Oh, okay.
So I unboxed the NECA Turtle van the other night.
Yeah, I tuned in for portions of it. I was doing hours or whatever at the time.
A couple things to note. Thank you so much to NECA and Trevor for sending it over. Yeah. It's truly incredible. We had a lot of people watching. A lot of just not toy anxiety, just turtle collector people.
Oh, like people are just like, how did he get a van? Blah, blah, blah. Was it that kind of stuff?
I'm thinking about doing a Mr. Beast style investigation video called "Are Toy Collectors Assholes?" ? Like, my experience on the internet has led me to this new theory. Are toy collectors assholes? Join me as I investigate, like just interviewing people at Target. Like, hey, are toy collectors assholes? I ended up taking it down briefly and doing some edits so I could get some more beauty shots. I will say this: unboxing live is just hard, especially
it's tough.
It was the first one, and it's big, and like I didn't know where the batteries went, and it didn't come with the batteries, even though it was supposed to.
I was in around that time, and I was like, "Oof, that poor soul! Please find the batteries."
Well, I texted Trevor, and he said he thinks they removed them. It's like a FedEx thing. I don't know. It was just like. And listen, a lot of people watch it. We got a lot of subs, and people seem to enjoy it, so it was great. But like, there was kind of a moment there where I was just like, "Do I just kill the stream and delete the channel?" Because I was also by myself, and it's just like the chat is going like, "Look at him, he's not even prepared." I'm just like, ah, but it was fun. Thank you.
I think especially something like if it was just a run-of-the-mill release that had been out already, I think there'd be less pressure. But I think you're the first person to have one on YouTube, I think.
Yeah. It was tough. And also it's like
the stakes are higher.
You know when like you get your HasLab Galactus, like not everything's intuitive. Like you have to go to other channels unboxing to like figure out like different aspects of it. Anyways, it was fun.
I had a similar experience. I got the HasLab Sentinel before not because I had it, just for some reason it shipped to me as one of the first person that got it shipped to them.
Right.
And I was like, to edit this would take way too long. I'm just do a live stream unboxing, and that's what I did. Had never done it before. I did it off my cell phone, no frills or anything.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just kind of stumbled through it, and I think I left at one point for like 2 minutes to go find batteries.
Yeah.
Like it was
really hard.
It was a mess, but it ended up being like one of my most viewed videos. Like 40,000 people watched it that weekend because no one else had a video of it.
For the content creators out there and the video makers, literally, I was like, okay, if I do an unboxing and a proper like review of this turtle van, we're looking at total investment maybe 8, 10, 12 hours.
Yeah,
like, easily. And live streaming has become so efficient and kind of what we're known for. I was like, oh, I'll just unbox it. It'll be like a podcast. And then I'm like, where's the batteries? Where's my fucking scissors? But anyway, so I took it down and repackaged it a little bit, cut out some of the dead space, did some better close-ups, and it's doing really well. So check that out if you want to see the turtle van.
It looks great.
It's great. They did a great job. It's phenomenal. So, Jay, let me ask you this. You have children. Yes. What's the big Halloween costume this year?
For kids, I don't, at least if you go to Spirit, Friday Night at Freddy's seems to be really popular.
I saw the preview for that movie and I was like, wait, this movie looks awesome. I had no idea what Five Nights at Freddy's was.
Neither do I. The trailer does look fun. And there's some other thing of these really weird, gross looking creatures of these big smiles and like little eyes. I don't know. But anyway, so those are, but
you're just describing children.
Yeah, pretty much. But my son, my oldest, Zach, is going to be a knight. And then Alex, my youngest, he's kind of weird. Well, he's 5, so whatever. All 5-year-olds are weird. But since he was able to pick his own costume, which is since he was 2, he has alternated between Stay Puft Marshmallow Man or Buzz Lightyear every year since then. And this year we were trying to like, hey, buddy, let's do something new this year. There's so many different people you could be. You love all these different things. But he went back to Buzz Lightyear this year. So he wanted to be Stay Puft, but the only Stay Puft costume in his size was the inflatable one.
Okay. Gotcha.
Which those aren't great to trick or treat in.
No, they're just bad all around. Well, that's fun. That's fun.
Colleen and I are going to be what probably everybody's going to be this year. We're going to be Barbie and Ken this year. But
that is going to be the big couple's costume.
But I'm going to be the Mojo Dojo Casa House Ken. So I've got the fur coat and all that. And then Colleen, since she would be the weird Barbie, she's going to be weird Barbie. So she's got the wig and like the dress and everything.
Well, that's really fun.
Yeah.
I love a good couple's costume. I mean, whether it's Barbie and Ken, Gomez and Morticia, Donald and Melania.
I didn't know this was going to get topical.
Oh no, not that Donald and Melania.
Oh, okay. Donald Duck's got a new squeeze.
Donald Duck.
He dumped Daisy.
Melania Duck. JK. I just wanted to. I like making you laugh for a second, so thank you for indulging me. Will Mattel Creations put out a Casa? What's it called? Casa Dojo. What is it?
Mojo Dojo Casa House?
A Mojo Dojo Casa House. Like, would that be successful? I would buy one, 100%.
I think it would, because if you go to their website, they have like legit costumes for. I mean, everything they've sold related to the Barbie movie on Mattel Creations has sold out or is close to selling out. Right. They've done exclusive dolls based off of their appearances in the movie that have sold out. They're doing costumes. A bunch of stuff is selling out.
They need to just repackage some of the failed Mattel Creations crowdfunds as Barbie. Be like, get your brand new Barbie Jurassic Park gates.
It was there. It was it was back there in the corner at the Mattel headquarters.
Yeah. The Barbie movie is wild. Okay, you can get the album. You can get the.
I want that.
You want the hoodie?
I want that.
This been sold out since like day one.
I think they restocked them or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at the weird Barbie thing sold out.
Oh, the $200 for the weird Barbie costume.
There's an
Oh,
Allen costume.
Beach Allen. Yeah, Barbie. Listen, whether or not you like the movie, I really enjoyed it, but
I loved it. Yeah.
what a cultural phenomenon. It was just
It's
so fun to be part of something positive for
Yeah.
once. It's like people are like, "Oh, what are the cultural things you lived through?" I'm like, 9/11, I don't know. The Capitol got invaded, like everything sucks all the time. Barbie, Barbenheimer, it was great.
It was. We did it back to back with Oppenheimer, then the Barbie movie the same day.
Wow.
But it was just so cool to be there, and everybody in the theater, old, young, male, female, gender non-binary, were dressed in pink, and it was so freaking cool. Like everybody was like, it was like a holiday. It was so neat.
Well, I still haven't. Oppenheimer's hitting digital finally, and I've been trying to get Abby to watch it. She's like, "Hey, I have 48 hours off of work. I'm not spending 12 of them with Christopher Nolan and Dave Oppenheimer." It's like, his name's not Dave Oppenheimer.
I will say, I think it's a masterpiece. But I mean, actually, both. It was funny because both movies are very heady, existential movies.
Right.
I didn't expect Barbie to be, but it was an interesting 1-2 punch. But
Right.
Oppenheimer's
Well,
a
audiences are
masterpiece.
smarter these days. People are just like, watch a movie from now. Watch a movie from like 1988. You'll be like, was everyone dumb in 1988? I don't know. Well, listen, we should probably talk about toys.
Okay.
What do you say? What do you say?
Sure, fine.
So I was originally going to open a bunch of stuff, but that was only if I was by myself. I do have some pickups and stuff I want to show off.
I brought things to open because I
cool.
was stressed. If you were opening, I wanted to open too.
Well, we
My
can do
stuff I've
that.
had for a minute though. But
Let's before we do that, let's talk some crowdfunding.
Sure.
Because this is coming down to the wire. Marvel Legends HasLab Giant Man.
Yep.
We are such supporters of the Marvel Legends team,
Yep.
Dwight and Ryan and Dan.
Mhm.
And what Steve Evans has been such a great promoter of all these brands. He does such a good job on Instagram. Listen, they've given it their all.
Yep.
They're at 7,069 backers with 2 days left. Got to hit 10,000. Jay, you've seen lots of these things come down to the wire. What is your official prediction? Or do you want to wait till?
No, I mean, we'll predict tomorrow too. I think because tomorrow Ryan Ting will be joining Toy Geeks during the section when we talk about Giant Man.
I love that.
And so last time, Brian Brink, who does all of our charts and maths for this on the GDL side of things, you can go check it out on geekdeadlife.com. But last time with the Ghost, he did a projection that ended up being within a couple hundred of what it actually ended at.
Okay.
For the Ghost, for the
I'm
HasLab.
I'm so bad we can't do a live stream with one of the election boards. Like,
can you guys just? I don't know.
We
need to if it's close.
What day?
What if I host it and you all just come on your phones or something?
What day is it?
Monday.
It's Monday.
Yeah, Monday night.
I mean, I'm gonna be around. We don't leave till Tuesday, so maybe.
Then we gotta do it. Come on. If it's close, we gotta.
Okay, if it's close, we'll do it.
If it backs before it's like 9 o'clock, then fuck it.
It's not fun. Nothing. The Rancor was the most fun. Ever.
Wasn't that amazing?
It was so good. Watching it get so close and then start dropping. Oh my god.
But when did we start? When did we start at 11 o'clock at night? Was that when we started?
It was late. Yeah. It was awesome.
So he was he did a projection on the Ghost, and so I was like, well, Brian, are we going to do a projection for the Giant Man? And he did. He did a projection.
Okay.
And his spike projection, because for those of us that follow all these damn things, there's always a last day spike, right?
Sure. Last 24 hours is huge.
And Brian's been charting these things for a couple years now, I feel like. So he has enough data to kind of get a guesstimated spike. And his estimation, his spike projection is 10,766. So he has it just getting by the 10,000 backer threshold.
Okay.
And personally, though, like if this is election night, I feel like we are within the margin of error of pass and fail,
Yeah.
getting it or not getting it.
I
So
think
even
yeah.
it's too close to call.
This breaking news, we can officially project that we don't know. Listen, I think it's going to make it. I mean, the Ghost jumped up, what, 4,000 or 5,000 on the last day.
It did.
Whether or not hit this, I don't think this is going to hit the stretch goals, but I kind of get the feeling that maybe the stretch goals overall weren't as enticing on this one. This is more just like, if you want this giant man Marvel Legends figure with all the articulation, all the detail we've come to expect from this team, $200. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to it, though.
Yeah, I think it'll pass just barely. But I think the Marvel team has done a good job this week showing off the other figures that will pair well with this one, like the Wasp, I believe they showed this week. So yeah, I think it's an incredible piece. Clearly, it's not as enticing as a Sentinel or a Galactus,
right?
But I've said it a few times now. I've told this to Ryan, on the bootleg stream that was going on this week. That I think they did everything they could do to make this successful. They probably knew it wasn't as hot of a character, so they didn't put a bunch of figures behind a paywall. They brought the tiers to, be nice, but you didn't need them, which I think brought down the price to $199.99. So a reasonable price. It is reasonable for what you get here, especially when you consider a vintage Toy Biz giant man build a figure, which is half the size of this, sells, on the secondary market for 200 plus. So I think, and when it's all said and done, there'll probably be less of these HasLab giant mans than those BAF giant mans. So anyway, I think they've done everything they can to make this successful, and I hope that in the end they are successful, because I think they've worked really hard.
Yeah, my expectation is that it jumps up. We're going to start seeing a really big increase that morning, and I think it is going to be close, but I do think it's going to get a couple thousand that last day.
Coming down to the wire. Are we streaming it? Are we live streaming?
Yeah, we'll do it. We got to figure it out. Maybe I've always wanted to do one of these tandem streams. Like, we got to figure out a way to get it on both channels. And I don't know. We'll figure it out. I think it'll be good. As long as it's close, as long as it'll be fun. So we'll stay tuned for that. Now, this is interesting.
Okay.
I wanted to bring, we're talking about active crowdfunding campaigns, HasLab.
Yeah.
So what do we know? We know that the Marvel Legends HasLab ends on Monday. What will the next HasLab be? I think safe to say, slime blower confirmed. No, but I think there's a Ghostbusters Haslab in the pocket, in the running, right?
And ever since, because you and I streamed about it the same day when that video dropped, and Craig, that you said, no way, not gonna happen, not a chance. And what has happened since then? Only more sprinkly clues. Listen, I would say.
I wouldn't trust any TikTok influencer.
I'm just saying.
Listen, just because you went to the set of the new Ghostbusters movie doesn't mean you can just go around confirming HasLabs for everybody. Okay? He should be way more careful with the kind of content he's releasing. Have some self-respect.
But then, okay, sure, totally agree. But then I see Spirits Unleashed drops a slime blower add-on.
I would love to live in a world where the marketing efforts between Sony Pictures, Hasbro, and Ilphonic Gaming were all like you work in a corporate world. That is a fantasy.
I'm just saying things are starting to connect.
All right, so we'll see. 1027 event. We'll get some reveals. Maybe we'll get a Ghostbusters Haslab.
Okay, here
And,
this is my question, Craig.
Yeah, please.
Are you at least a little bit more? Maybe it will be a slime blower. Or are you still like not a chance in hell? It's something else.
I would say not a chance in hell, but
Okay. Okay.
I think it would be really cool, and if they could pull it off, I personally think it's too obscure and too big.
Sure.
That's what I really think.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I don't think it would be successful. Like, I think it could be. So we'll see. Like, listen, there was a lot. I will give you this. There was a lot of Ghostbusters 2 references and clues in that video. I, by the way, have to confirm, I heard from multiple people from Hasbro who reached out after our stream, Jay.
Yeah, you sent me some of the messages.
And they seemed really appreciative and excited. I don't want to give out other people's business, but there's somebody that works on these Hasbro teams that is full of enthusiasm and so good at what they do that I believe is working on the Ghostbusters brand.
Which is exciting.
And so hopefully we can have that person on.
That'd be amazing.
Talk about this stuff. So, okay. But in other crowdfunding news, we do have to talk. I really haven't had the chance to talk about this with you at all. So I'm kind of excited right now to talk about the G.I. Joe Mothership by Super 7, which I haven't checked, but we're at 1342.
All right.
That seems a lot better than where it was, I don't know, a couple days ago.
Oh, it was, I was curious to see if that weird international backer thing would hit,
right.
Or, because Cat's Lair had that as well. So that's good. I'm happy for them.
Me too. It needs to hit 4,000 to fund. I want to give. I'm not a diehard G.I. Joe collector, but I do have a interest in the brand as a whole.
Hey, you had a flag at one point. You're a flag elite at one point.
I was. My personal opinion on this piece and the current situation. Why won't it scroll down right here?
You need to squeeze your window together. You need to go this way. That's this way.
To get better. How do I squeeze it?
I don't know. It's very widescreen. You're like at a 4K movie resolution.
It's very technically sound. Okay. So what I'm saying is this.
Okay.
I think that there is an education issue here.
Mm-hmm.
I think this. You tell me if here. Let me ask you leading on questions. You tell me if I'm right.
Okay.
I think that these are my truths that I have about this.
Okay.
I do not think O-ring collectors and vintage G.I. Joe collectors care or like reaction figures at all.
I would agree.
Except for Jake Stevens, for some reason.
Jake Stevens. Okay, listen. I love Jake Stevens. Okay, one of my favorite people.
He's great
in this community. I am so appreciative that I got to know him and befriend him in real life because of this channel. Because I've known him or have watched him for years and years. But he's a fucking weirdo because nobody likes those things.
Okay, so that's the first truth I have.
First truth.
The second truth, I think the fact that Super 7 is officially doing G.I. Joe O-ring figures at all, is a huge deal. And it's not being marketed correctly. And I think there's confusion in the community.
Oh, absolutely. And not only that, but it's just it went off. It went off like this. Hold on, I got a little here. Because it's still not clear. Like it's still muddled in all of this. Because, like for me, I'm like, oh wow, they're gonna do O-rings. This is great because Hasbro clearly is like, we're gonna take the foot off the gas on this. We're working out some ideas. Oh, is this what it's going to be? Super 7 is going to do that. That's great because I haven't bought a single reaction because I think they're overpriced and I don't want 5 POA. I want O-ring, baby. But in New York Comic Con, Brian Flynn confirms that no, there's not going to be more O-rings. They're only going to be these figures that are going to be with this set. And to me, that is a big no for me. It's a no
Oh,
for
I
me,
didn't
dog.
see that.
Yeah,
didn't
he
hear about
said
that.
this is it. And I think now again, I know Super 7, Brian et al. Can't just do whatever they want with G.I. Joe, right? Because it's Hasbro, and I'm sure there's a lot of give and take and inner machinations and
Red
bureaucracy, red tape. So I understand why they're like, well, this is it. We got this one thing approved. It probably took us 2 years to get this one little thing approved. So we're not going to do that every damn release. But I think Hasbro let go of the reins a little bit because I think it's a really cool idea. You don't want to do anything with it, so let Super 7 do it. And Super 7, I think you maybe should have held this one in the back pocket a little longer because I think it's getting lost in the sauce.
Hey, if this was a HasLab, if this was Hasbro doing a vintage style G.I. Joe giant vehicle that never happened with a bunch of O-ring figures, I think it would have funded on day one.
Yep, 100%.
And I
completely agree.
And because I like this ship a lot. I think it looks really cool.
It does.
And I'm actually like, it was so impressive. We saw it at Toy Fair. We didn't get to see the inside. I think it's really cool.
It's cool. It's to me, I think it's a little boring on the outside. The inside is where it's really cool.
The inside's where it's at for sure.
But you highlight the main point because with Hasbro, you're like, oh, okay, Hasbro owns this. They're gonna, and they've already done it before. The Sky Striker was the return of O-ring. That's why it was part of the whole promotion for it. That's why I backed it.
But they didn't do anything after though.
And yeah, they had those like I think it was 3 or 4 multi-packs that were 40 something bucks, $50
right
for 2 O-ring figures. And they kind of just gave up on it. And but even if they were like, okay, this is our relaunch, we're doing all new figures, new vehicles instead of rehashes,
right,
people would have been dancing in the streets.
Yeah, and I feel I would, if listen, Super 7 would never say this, but I have a feeling if I had to take a guess, this is probably more of a Hasbro thing than anything.
Yes.
I bet if Super 7 got their way, they would do a full O-ring relaunch and make it really cool. Maybe they can still do that. Maybe if this is really successful in the long run, that will open up the eyes, because Hasbro has been good about working with other companies. Like they license out stuff to Super 7.
Yeah,
they do the Power Ranger stuff. They promote the 3-0 Power Ranger stuff. And obviously Super 7 has made Transformers. So like I think the opportunity is there. But it is expensive, as a couple people in the chat are highlighting.
Yeah, it's way too expensive. And I think Jamelin makes the best point here. The Hasbro one would be cheaper because there's no licensing.
Yeah.
And if you're a Hasbro Pulse member, free shipping, which shipping on this is no joke. It's more expensive than the Cat's Lair. It's $115, $120.
Right. Right. Well, we'll keep an eye on it because I think this would be a win for the G.I. Joe collectors in general.
Sure.
Now, I'm not as heavy into it, but there's so much tension. This is first of all, let's kill the screen because I want to bring this up real quick.
Okay.
There's a lot of tension in the Star Wars community between vintage collection collectors and Black Series collectors.
What? There's tension in the Star Wars community?
Can you believe there's tension in the Star Wars community?
That's shocking.
Tension confirmed. I don't feel that same amount of tension in the G.I. Joe community, but I also think the G.I. Joe community loves classifieds in a way that the Star Wars community doesn't love Black Series.
Well, because classifieds like this, I just got the Firefly.
Hold on.
This thing is incredible. You got all these weapons. You've got all this detail, all this sculpting, a bajillion accessories.
So good.
And for Black Series people, it's like, here's the same 4 characters, maybe one new character in a wave. Oh, and that one is a deluxe, so it's $37.
Oh, man. Yeah, I know. Hey, Quinn Comics says, at Toy Anxiety, YHS Ghostbusters Haslab. Oh, Toy Anxiety YHS.
Wait, you are doing the Haslab? Oh
Yep,
my god!
with a
YHS Haslab
build an Abbey. 1-to-1 scale. YHS. Here we go. Ghostbusters Haslab will most likely be a Firehouse Stay Puft for Ecto One. Yeah, I mean, I think any of those would be great. I still thank you for the comment. I still think there's more of a sure bet with the role-playing items with Ghostbusters specifically, especially that the Proton Pack was so good and so successful. And I think people forget how crazy that was. And that is.
Yeah. I mean, just the fact that it was the first ever Ghostbusters Haslab. And you could say that Ghostbusters as a fan community is not as large as Star Wars or Marvel.
Right.
And the fact that it was very successful, hit all of its tiers, hit the tiers faster than they could, announce them or whatever. Like, it did incredibly well.
And let's face it, the tiers weren't that great except for like the hose. Like
the hose you needed.
If you think about it, bold move.
Yes.
Hey, Proton Pack also doesn't come with the wand. Also, if you have the wand, doesn't come with the hose. Like, God, okay. Jeez, Hasbro.
And it's so integral to like the pack because the connector and how it all interacts with each other.
Fantastic job. So I would love an updated Firehouse. I would love a big Stay Puft. I would love, I mean, we have all wanted a 6-inch scale Ecto One for our entire lives. I don't think an Ecto One funds though.
Really? Okay, real talk.
Yeah, let's get real. Let's finally get real.
As much as I joke that it's slime blower confirmed, because I maybe it is. I personally don't want out of the list of potential things. I don't want that. I mean, I would still back it because it's Ghostbusters.
Sure.
And I love Ghostbusters too. I've been a proponent and defender of Ghostbusters 2 since I first saw it in theaters in 1989 when my dad just shit on it all the time. I was like, no, it was shit. I was like, no, Dad, I think it was pretty good. So yeah, cool. Slime blower, I would still back it. But if I had to force rank it, it would be a 6-inch Ecto One, 6-inch scale Ecto One as my number one.
Okay. Yeah, I think my number one. Yeah, if they did a really good job,
nice one with lights and.
If they did a 6-inch scale Ecto One with lights that came with a Ghostbusters 2 conversion kit as a stretch goal, I'd buy two.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Or what if they did another stretch goal where you can add a gunner seat and like.
And the new little red strips that are along the front end.
Or like even like little stickers to make it dirty and stuff. Like, I think one of the tricks of a Haslab is like if you could get people to buy multiples.
Yes, you're right. You're 100% right.
Like if they could do a $350 Ecto One with an Ecto 1A conversion kit as a stretch goal, I think that. No,
I agree.
I think it would be great. But having said that, I think it's going to be a trap. I think the trap. For a couple of reasons. One, the Maddie collector trap secondary market on that thing forever has been. That thing was $150 when it came out.
Yeah,
it's hard to find one for less than $700 or $800 now. Yeah. Sealed, $1,000 all day. If they could do
mine.
So did I. I can't sit on it. And it also wasn't like it was good. The Hasbro one is going to be better.
The thing with all the Maddie collector props, they're good, not great, and. The trap is fun, but it's a
toy. It feels like a toy.
The pedal's very plasticky. None of it would hold up to real prop use at all. The Maddie one,
right?
So it was a good party trick, but it's not a prop. And so yeah, the second Hasbro got the license, I sold all of my Maddie stuff because I was like, oh, I think Hasbro is going to do it.
We're so tribal. Hasbro forever.
Well, I was just like, they're gonna do props and they're gonna be better. So bye. Because it was like I probably made like almost $3,000 on selling everything.
Yeah, it's awesome. The goggles were not good. Secret Galaxy, Mr. Dan Larson. Wow, blessing us with his knowledge, dropping bombs here, and I agree. without an active figure line, a play center vehicle makes no sense. Role play makes more sense. I'm not convinced that Plasma Series.
You don't make any sense, Dan.
No, he makes plenty of sense. I think they want the Ghostbusters brand. I was talking about this with Jacob Walsh. Happy birthday, Jacob Walsh.
Happy birthday.
I think one thing, maybe I talked about this on Toy Exotic, I don't know. One thing I think everybody forgets about toys is that toys and toy lines and action figures, they're marketing for the brand.
Yes.
It is part of the marketing scheme.
Yes.
Now, I know things have evolved and something like Marvel Legends takes on a life of its own and can exist without. If they decided not to make any more Marvel comics or Marvel movies for 5 years, they could still sell Marvel action figures.
Yes.
Ghostbusters is a brand similar, I believe, similar to Indiana Jones. That really needs to be part of a marketing push for, an active piece of media. Sure. TV, movie, whatever.
Yeah. I agree.
So to be successful. So I do think whatever it is will be, I don't think they want to do a big HasLab campaign that doesn't.
Because here's the thing, okay? They said
that noise you just went,
shh. It's going. I need like a stogie. Like, it's going out great. Or what does he say when he's like spraying the inside of the
beautiful.
But
it's slime time. Touch tips. I love Ghostbusters so much.
It's so good. Okay, but here's the thing. They're saying this is big. This is really big. A ghost trap isn't big.
I know, but I think that is a line from Ghostbusters. This is big. This is definitely
isn't it? I thought it was this is it. This is definitely it.
Oh yeah. No, I think Egon says this is big at some point.
Is that the Twinkie thing? Okay, sorry. We're such nerds.
HasLab giant Twinkie confirmed.
Oh my god. Yes. What were the measurements again that he said? Once if the ecto plasmic would be I don't know. I forget.
The measurements of the Twinkie?
Well, the Twinkie after accounting for the ecto
35 feet long, weighing approximately 600 pounds.
That's a big Twinkie.
Have you ever noticed the cough that Ray does there? It sounds exactly like it's the same tone as the containment unit buzzer. It's so. Listen, I'm a weirdo.
Okay, I have to go listen to that again.
It almost sounds like the exact same note as
that's how I hear it.
This has gone too far. We're dorks. We're dorks.
You should start a Ghostbusters channel or podcast. I feel like you're really into this.
Anybody wants to subscribe to our other channel, I'm happy to put a link into the
you should. You should
into the chat here because we have some really. Let me talk about this for a second.
How much can you say? Like, because I feel like I know some of the things that are coming down the line, and people should be subscribed to you.
So, I just put a link to the Yes Have Some channel on YouTube. We have how do I say this? We got to do some really cool stuff this year. And
weren't you overseas at one point this year, like across the pond?
We were, and I really can't talk about it at all. I will say, in the coming time, there is a new Ghostbusters movie coming out.
Yeah,
and we will have a lot of coverage of that movie. Not just like we always do. We're gonna have news. We're gonna have speculation. We're gonna have rumors. We're gonna have trailer reviews.
Yeah.
We're gonna have interviews.
Yeah,
we have a whole backlog of interviews from the last movie. We talked to Jason Reitman, Logan Kim, McKenna Grace. We talked to Eric Reich, who was the producer. We talked to Ben Eady, who was the prop master. We talked to so many people from Ghostbusters Afterlife that there's a whole. If you don't know YHS, go dive in, and then you'll be caught up.
Yeah,
there you go. All right. So, having said that, I didn't want to go longer than an hour. We probably won't go too much longer than an hour, but I have some toys to show off and to
let's see them.
Speaking, I bought on Prime Day. I bought a ton of Super 7 reaction figures off Amazon because they were so cheap.
You're the one person that bought them.
No. Time out. I'm not a big reaction collector.
No, you say it all the time, like Jay, reaction. You got to get it on the ground floor.
But listen, I do the ones that are special.
Okay,
That,
all right.
that don't just look like
Okay, that looks
normal
good.
reaction.
Yeah, you got to make
Okay?
yourself big screen here.
Sorry. And these were all on sale for $5 to $10.
Super
So
7 had some good. I mean, I'm gonna grab my Prime Day deal while you show that off. Go ahead.
okay. So I got the Mickey and Friends what is it? Two Guns Mickey 1934 animated short. So I had a couple Disney reaction figures that came in over the a couple weeks ago, but I ordered some more. So I want to put together this whole collection. So we
Nice.
got Cowboy Mickey there, which is great.
Their
Shop.
Disney reactions are really nice. Those Roger Rabbit ones are really, really nice.
They're really good. We got Horse.
Oh, Horseman.
Horse. And like this, like I do believe in the magic of Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Cowgirl Mini.
Love it.
No, yeah, Cowgirl Mini. No shirt. It's weird, but it's fine.
Yeah, she was topless for a long time.
But I'm not a big Disney memorabilia collector. I kind of pick and choose.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also picked up, well, hold on. So I got also the villain here. Or whoever.
Oh, Pete.
Peg Leg Pete,
Yeah, Peg Leg Pete.
So I think those are really good. And
those are great.
And then I'll just show off a few more Disney ones. I got the Wave 1 reactions, which looks so good in the packaging, but I am going to open it. So we got Goofy here.
Ooh, nice.
Like, to me, like, this is under the reaction label, but this is this is different.
It is, because they're not doing it like a Star Wars 5 POA Kenner thing. They're just making 3 3/4 inch really good looking Disney figures.
Right. And that's why I don't like the Ninja Turtles reaction figures.
Agreed.
It just doesn't work for me. Like, this is just a great Pluto figure.
Yeah,
like,
agreed. Completely.
So,
yep.
Trying to focus it. Is it focused? Yeah, there you go.
That's a great short. I love that short.
Yeah. So, and I'll show off some more. And then lastly, because I had the other ones from the Hawaiian collection, I did get my Donald Duck.
Oh, nice. That's one of my favorite shorts, the Hawaii one.
By the way, I ordered this and it came in and I have no idea where it is. So I ordered another one. So there's a second Donald Duck. If I find the other one, I'll do a giveaway.
Nice. That was great, because I didn't realize he came with a guitar. I kind of want that one.
Dude,
these
are great.
Yes.
Like this, and I like it because it's like you can put together a nice little collection. It
Yeah.
doesn't take up a ton of room.
Yep.
Like, I was super excited about the Disney Ultimates, and I have the first wave.
Mm-hmm.
Just character selection just has not
Nah, they kind of came out and then sputtered.
right. But those are great. What do you got over there, Jay?
So, like, again, people know, like, Super 7. I'm gonna put it under so you don't see me taking it out of the box. A whole bunch of stuff went super cheap on Prime Day.
Right.
And I have a big thing, like a long time wanted thing, I believe, at my PO box. I just haven't gotten a chance to get over there yet. That my patrons bought me, that I'm really excited about having, but I don't have it in hand yet.
Okay.
But one that I did buy for myself, because I thought it was cool, but I don't want to spend $55 or whatever it was. But I think it was down to 20 something bucks. Is the SpongeBob SquarePants Super 7 Ultimates figure.
That's awesome.
And so if you're opening, this is the one I'll open. But yeah, it's just a big ass SpongeBob figure. It has a Gary in there.
I almost feel like I had the first wave of the Simpsons Ultimates, and they're really great, but they're so big. Like, this is great because it's like, even if you don't want to get all the SpongeBob figures, you can get one really great SpongeBob. Yeah.
I'm just like, this is a cool ass SpongeBob. And you're right. Like, I don't need a shelf. I can just have a SpongeBob. I would maybe get a Patrick too. Maybe Patrick and Squidward. And that's all I would need.
This is the slippery slope. Maybe I'll get, maybe if they put out that character, I'll get that.
But this is it. Like, if another Prime Day and they have a Patrick for like 20 something bucks, then I'll pick it up maybe. But I think this is good. And it just looks like a really good SpongeBob. It's not one of those characters like, oh, they didn't paint the faces, but they did paint his face, by the way. But anyway, I think it looks really good.
That's awesome. That's a great pickup.
Yeah. Excited about that one.
Very cool. Oh, anything else?
Did you see, I got this big box or this canister from
Oh, you know what? I was
What?
so mad about that.
Why did they message you and you didn't reply to them?
No, I just didn't get a message.
Oh,
I want a giant canister of Ninja Turtles headphones. Cool
it was
shit.
nuts. The headphones are really nice. Zach stole the small Bluetooth ones, but I have the big ones.
Okay.
Actually, my kids took most of the stuff. They claimed most of it, but this one I thought Alex was going to claim, but he took the watch and the plushies and the little guys. So I have this Donatello here that I think I'm going to keep these for myself because I didn't buy any of these giant ones. Did you buy any of these?
I do. I actually have all 4. I left
Okay.
them in package. They display really nice. They're,
I do.
they're fun and nostalgic and look good. Yeah, I because sometimes I wonder if we're not that easy to get in contact with by email. I need to start putting our email address in more places.
Well, the only place my email is on the main YouTube page. Like, do you have it in the contact page?
I probably need to add it there. But we did.
Probably should.
We get reached out to by other in fact, Jada reached out recently and asked if we
Oh.
wanted some samples. So
Oh,
I was
there you go.
like,
I didn't get any Jada people hitting me.
I was like,
So there
yeah,
you go.
we'll take 3 evil Ryus and a Chun-Li. Oh shit. I got my Chun-Li, but she's in the other room, but it's great. We'll talk about that next. Okay, so I got a few more things.
Okay, let's see what you got.
More reaction. Again, I just think these look so awesome. It's the time of the year to be celebrating. So I got some of the Treehouse of Horror.
Nice, very nice.
So we've got Homer here. And like these are really well designed. Like,
yeah, and I'd rather have that than like a whole Super 7, or even I think I like that better than the it's Playmates, right? Because they're smaller, so you can display more of those.
build out a whole universe. We got the Skeleton Marge here.
Nice.
Come on.
That was good. Yeah, that was pretty good.
I used to do a really good Marge Simpson impression.
Yeah.
Like, you know how everybody has a couple impressions they just
Sure.
have?
Yep.
Like I don't know if like my voice is just different than it used to be, or like I
Sure.
can't hit like higher registers, but like I used to be able to like do Marge Simpson, Chris from Family Guy, like dead on. Like I would bring it it was like a party favor.
Wow.
Oh my god, look at that guy's doing Chris in the corner. Anyways,
Do you not do anymore? Is the Seth Green?
I honestly wouldn't even want to try. It's been a long time. Inside Out Bart.
Oh god, that one creeps me out.
Oh yeah, you don't like scary things.
I don't.
And then Kang Dole, which this is such a funny episode. Some really funny. It's just Bob Dole and Bill Clinton, just of its time.
Very of its time. Remember how quaint that was? Just Bob Dole was like, oh, that how cute that is. Little did we know.
Classic. I have a couple more things I can show off.
Yeah, do it. You're gonna be off for like 7 weeks.
No, just a week. I got a package from another friend who didn't want to be named, but you'll probably put 2 and 2 together when you start seeing some of the stuff. So, I got a Marvel's The Blob.
Nice.
Which I'm like in and out on Marvel Legends, but this is awesome.
No, that's a
I was
pickup right there.
It was like I buy the ones I really like when they catch my eye, because I do think they are the best designed modern like huge scope action figure line.
No, I agree.
So, and I love the Marvel Legends team. And then I also got this Deadpool 2-pack.
That's a great one.
Which was really great. And then my probably top 3 all-time favorite bands who put out a record this week, Blink-182. The person who sent me this is also a huge Blink-182 fan and customized the packaging of Marvel's Blink to Marvel Blink-182. So
yeah, just keep it. That's not an opener, right?
That is not an opener.
Yeah,
that is not an opener. This one's staying in package. I was very appreciative for that stuff.
Yeah.
And if you like Blink-182, the new album's really great. It's really awesome.
Is it
so
good?
Awesome? It's so good.
Okay.
I mean, are you a fan? Traditional? Are you a traditionalist?
No, well, no. I just I'm not a diehard. I just kind of grew up with them as the San Diego band. Like they just kind of they hit as, you know,
right.
And so they were just like the local band that kind of made it. So I appreciated them as that, but I was never like a diehard fan. Does that make sense? Like I liked them, but I wasn't Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, also, it's like when it's from your hometown, like if you're not even that big of fans, it gets really annoying. Actually, it's like,
Oh,
yeah,
for sure, right? Because like everybody, like one of my good friends was his like Tom DeLonge's cousin,
yeah.
and so it just
All
hit
of a sudden,
differently.
Tom DeLonge had a lot of cousins.
Right, exactly. But this one was legit because we would get for like giveaways for our high school and like different things, like signed merch and
Yeah.
like
That's awesome.
albums and signed guitars and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, it's legit, it's real.
Sometimes it's fun to just be a fan. It's just fun to
Yes.
be a fan of something
Mhm.
and not be involved in any kind of way. Like I'm a musician, I play music,
Yeah.
but to just like, oh, this is cool. Tony says, saw Blink this summer. Mark watched the opening band in the crowd with everyone. I'm assuming that was Turnstile who opened the whole North America tour. They are friggin' rad. They're an awesome
Nice.
band. Yeah, I just, but even with like Ghostbusters and all this toy stuff, it's like you're into it, you're a fan,
Yes.
but then like you get closer and closer
Yeah.
to it, and like there's something special about just being. I feel
Yes.
that's how I feel about like the Star Wars franchise. Like
Yeah.
I have no connection to Star Wars.
Yep.
I don't know those people.
Yep.
I don't know the people who. I just want to watch it and enjoy it as a fan.
Yes.
So,
Yep. And I've said similar, like Ghostbusters. It's my favorite thing ever, and there's not an ounce of me that would want to be as close to it as you are, because I'm just a fan of it, and I have no responsibility to it whatsoever. I just am a fan.
Listen,
Because Lost became that for me. It was like I was this huge fan, but I was like I got too close to it. It was like it just became.
Oh, that is so. Can we talk about that for a second? Because I feel like there's probably, I'm sure most of your listeners know or are aware.
Maybe
But
a lot. I don't like maybe half and half. I don't know.
But okay. I know let's hour 2. I'm going to interview you.
Oh, sure.
Let's just go a few more minutes. Is that
Sure.
okay?
Yeah.
Part of your origin story in the world of podcasting and
Mhm.
in content creation, everything is you were a huge fan of the show Lost,
Mm-hmm.
and you started this podcast early on.
Yep.
Early days of podcasting, just in general, right?
Yeah.
Like when did podcasts become a thing? Like when Mark Maron decided to record
No,
one?
before that, because like we started in 2005. I don't know when WTF started. I don't think it was then.
Okay.
If it was, I wasn't aware of him. But like podcasting had started, I think, in earnest in 04, and I heard about it summer-ish of 05 because it was just coming on to iTunes at that time. And this is before the video iPod. So this was like the second thing you could do with your iPod. Music was the first thing.
Right.
And podcasts were the second thing in 2005. And so not only were we like one of the first Lost podcasts, but we were one of the first TV show podcasts. We were one of the first podcasts to be a fan about something.
Okay. That's so awesome.
And just be fans talking about a thing that they like. And it was kind of cool because all the things that are common tropes now in podcasts were just us figuring it out back then. But anyway, so yeah, just and it kind of blew up at around the time the TV shows started jumping on iTunes with the iPod video iPod.
Sure.
But yeah, it was learned a lot. I was 20 years old when I started that shit.
I mean, but what happened with you guys is you started covering it, but didn't you?
So yeah, like I think
you kind of became part of the media sphere of Lost.
Well, by the sixth ever episode, Jorge Garcia called into our fan line and said, "Hey, I don't know if you know this or not, but we're listening. We love what you're doing."
That's
so you know.
And where was Lost at in there?
That was season 2. That was the beginning of season 2.
We had a kind of similar thing happen with YHS where we started YHS podcast in February, maybe late January of 2016.
Mm-hmm.
And we started like the build up to the 2016 movie, the Ghostbusters movie.
Mm-hmm.
We started using like this online radio platform to do like a live call-in show.
Yeah.
Which I still love because in my heart of hearts, I wanted to be a morning radio DJ, take calls. My co-hosts, I don't know if they loved just having randos jumping.
Yeah.
Hey, my opinion of the new trailer. But Paul Feig called in on like our fifth episode, and we just interviewed Paul Feig.
Yeah.
And he promised us the movie would be great. And
I liked Answer the Call. I do not hate it like a lot of people hate it.
Paul
I'm not
Feig
saying it's perfect.
Listen,
It's
he's
not.
he's an incredible guy. But like you're saying with Jorge Garcia, like to take time out of their life. So they were listening.
They were listening, and then just over time, befriended him, a lot of the actors, and then the production crew, ABC, Damon Lindelof, and eventually we would go on set and do red carpet in Hawaii and do these like ABC parties and like all this crazy stuff, which was great. Such a great, amazing experience. I'm not shitting on that at all.
No.
But there is this thing where it's just like there's people that I saw Ollie said he listened to my old last podcast, but there's people that are still like the fans of just like being a fan. But I feel like I don't appreciate it the same way anymore.
So this is funny. The Fair Care was that is a funny joke. There's some good stuff in that movie. And good actors and stuff. Let's see.
Never compare me to this mayor from Jaws. That was the line that I thought was really fun.
Nate says, "Great stuff, guys. Enjoying the well, thank you, Nate. We appreciate it. It is interesting. We've been so fortunate to do a lot of cool stuff related to Ghostbusters, but a lot of it is like, first of all, Ghostbusters is a huge worldwide known franchise, but it's also like, it's kind of small too. Like, and that's one thing you learn, that a small group of people run large enterprises,
Sure. Yeah.
So a big thing for us has just been like showing up. Like we'll just be, if
Yeah.
there's a Ghostbusters thing happening, like we'll go there.
Yeah.
And it's like, after a while, it's like, oh, it's you guys are here again. Who are you? It's like, I thought you would never ask. Hi. With the classic story on YHS, at 2019 Ghostbusters FanFest, I like introduced myself to Jason Reitman like 4 different times, and like by the 4th time I was like, "Oh, Craig from the podcast." He was like, "Yeah, I'm aware. I know." It's like, and like it was also the same day where I didn't ask him to be on our show. I told him he would be. I'm such a weirdo. I do this thing where like I'm not really a super touchy-feely, affectionate person. I guess I am a little bit, but if I'm making a connection with somebody, I try not to do it anymore because I never want to cross a personal boundary. But it's not that unlike me to put a hand on someone's shoulder. It's just like a human connection thing.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Jason Ryan was like, "What the fuck is this guy touching me? Get away!" So, anyways, I will not touch anybody's shoulders unless you want me to. We have a couple super chats. Thank you, Batman.
Yeah, that's great.
Evening, fellas. Appreciate it. Johnny Cock putting in a tip for the fun times. Happy birthday, Mr. Jacob Walsh. Well, absolutely. Always. Thank you guys for supporting. But Jay, I get it. Like when you're that close to it, and not, by the way, I'm not saying we're that close to Ghostbusters. We're not, but we do get to do, we've done some really cool stuff. And
it's amazing.
And
it's amazing.
But you just get a little bit
and
of
well earned too, because you all work so freaking hard. Like I appreciate it. I don't think people appreciate it, but I appreciate all the work you all put into it.
Well, the Ghostbusters community is really strange. So like ideally it would be people saying like, "It's so cool that you guys got to do this stuff. I'm living vicariously through your efforts." But it's more like, why the fuck did you get to do that? Now, 99% of people are amazing. So
yeah.
There's always going to be a vocal minority. Anyways, Jay, what else? Should we finish this thing? You got to get to your
Can
kids.
I open this SpongeBob? I just want to see.
Open it. Open the SpongeBob.
It's
I'll
so
talk
close
to the chat. I'll talk to the chat. Chat, what do you want me to talk about? We got 10 minutes left. I'm yours.
But it's kind of weird to see people say they didn't start listening to podcasts until like 2009. Like my original one was like we finished in 2010.
Let me think. When did I start listening to podcasts? I'm sure I listened to a couple here and there, but like the first person I like gravitated towards where I was like, oh, there's a new episode of this podcast.
Joe Rogan.
yes. No, Bill Simmons.
Oh, that's a great one. Yeah.
Yeah, huge Bill Simmons fan. A little bit of a love-hate relationship nowadays. He could be a bit much, but yeah. So, and the crazy thing is like, I listen to a lot of podcasts now. Look at that SpongeBob.
Shit, I lost Bubble Man.
Oh no. 90. I listen to majority wrestling podcasts.
Oh, nice.
I listen to hours, maybe 10 to 20 hours a week of wrestling content, and I never watch wrestling. It's so weird. I do watch it, but I don't like. I take in the content and the coverage more than I actually watch it.
But there's something that I can understand that. There's something about just the discussion of it, which is more enjoyable. Like,
sure.
When I don't listen to very many. I only listen to 2 regularly. One is Purple Stuff Podcasts.
Is that Dinosaur
Dracula yeah. And Sexy, or I guess he's not Sexy Armpit anymore. He's Sledge Central. But they only do like 1 show a month. Is their pace.
Okay.
They do a Patreon show once a month, and then Blank Check with Griffin and David. But the thing is, like, they like go deep dive into a movie. They basically just go in order on a director's filmography.
Okay.
And I think the point is to like watch the movie and then listen to this. But I don't ever watch the movie in most cases. I'll just listen to their commentary. I enjoy the conversation. And sometimes I've seen the movie, sometimes I haven't.
Sure.
But I just enjoy the conversation.
Well, cheap plug. We reviewed on YHS this week, Jacob, Abigail, myself, the new Exorcist movie.
Ooh.
It's probably the funniest podcast we've ever done because it was a good old fashioned like raking through the mud. Like, it is just not a good movie on any level. And we took it to task. It was a lot of fun. Let me go to the chat here. Soulcraft says, I was big into the lost message boards back then. I was more of a message board guy than a podcast guy.
Yes. Well, that was my concept was, what if we took a message board but turn that conversation into a podcast? And
do you remember any of like the most outlandish theories that were getting traction?
One of the craziest was that Shannon was pregnant with Boone's baby when she got shot and killed by Ana Lucia. Spoiler alert. One
of the worst McFarlane's action figures ever.
Oh God.
She's laying down.
It's great. Down.
We got Shannon. She's on a towel. She's getting a tan.
She's got a bikini on. It's the only way someone will buy a girl figure.
Oh man, that's a great SpongeBob. Let's make you.
It's okay. It's not bad. I mean, it's kind of just what you would expect a SpongeBob action figure to be. Like,
sure,
it's nothing too special. What's funky though is the swappable heads are just big bricks of sponge. So.
Right. Okay.
So I'm guessing this just pops off.
There you go. It looks like it's coming loose.
Maybe not. It actually has articulation. Kind of chunky articulation.
Okay.
But I don't know how to. I'm not going to break it on screen. But anyways, I'm guessing you pop that off and then. But then it has a Gary. Meow. Meow.
I never really watched I don't know much about SpongeBob.
It's one of those shows that came out in 1999. I was kind of too old for Nickelodeon shows, but I still watched that first season because I was like, oh, it's the guy that did, Rocko's Modern Life. I love Rocko's Modern Life.
That's a good one.
And I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was brilliant then, and I would watch it and so it's cool. Like my boys, they love it now, so I can like rewatch it where I probably missed. I don't know. It's like Simpsons. It's been going on since '99, but there's so many episodes I've never seen.
Yeah, if anybody ever wonders why our generation refuses to like grow up, it's because The Simpsons is still on. It's because we're about to hit season. Because Wheel of Fortune is still on. The same people. Everything's the same. How can we grow up if everything's the same? I refuse.
It's a good point. Zach is really into video games. So I was like, let's do Ready Player One because I haven't seen that since it came out.
Okay.
And he loved it, but that movie exemplifies is this us in 6 years? Like nothing. It's still just the 80s.
I mean, I don't know. It feels like, I'm going to be 40 in March. And like, I'll say things to myself like, I really need to start taking Transformers a little bit more seriously. It's like, you could just go
Who
pay
are
the
you?
bills. You could just go to Home Depot and buy some soil or whatever other people my age do. It's always a guy and his wife with like 10 bags of soil
Ugh.
unloading their car. And I'm like,
Listen.
what do they do? They're just buying dirt? Don't they know
Here's the
toys
thing.
exist?
Okay, I know it's easy to critique those people buying soil, but sometimes you want to start a plant bed and your soil is just not good. Like in North Carolina, we got a bunch of red clay. So if I
Got a
try
bunch
to
of
dig,
bad dirt up there.
it's clay. It's all clay. So you need to bring in dirt if you're wanting to, have a nice
All right.
botanical
behind it.
garden.
What kind of articulation does that soil have? Couple more comments. Andy Silva says, I used to listen to all the Conrad pods, but basically stopped 6 months ago. I think I just burned them out. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, Conrad Thompson hosts like 10 wrestling podcasts. I
Wow.
listen to a bunch of them. I listen to the Eric Bischoff one and the Bruce Pritchard one and so on and so on. If I could just figure out how to make money off podcasting, I'd be set.
Way you make money is you gotta get those sponsorships.
We got Magic Mind coming back for 2 weeks of toy anxiety.
I fucked up. Not Harry's. What's the Manscaped reached out and I forgot to reply. And I think I missed my
dude,
window.
I would love to see Geek Dad Life Manscaped, but we had Manscaped for like 3 weeks, and it was so funny.
It's too good. It's just too good.
Telling Ryan Dole that he gets to promote a ball shaving tool. He's like, duh. Like Ryan was promoting Manscaped well beyond the.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He was just going. He's like, dude, if you want to go out and hunt toys, feel good about yourself.
No friction.
God. Well, listen, everybody, this was a ton of fun. Jay, I appreciate you hanging out.
Yeah, man.
What's going on Toy Geeks tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night we'll be talking. Well, lead story is Mo2 TMNT crossover.
Oh right,
obviously. So John's tomorrow, so it's the John day. So we got John for both main show and After Dark, and then Ryan Ting will be joining us while when we jump into Giant Man the day before the last day.
Okay.
I'm sure he will want to maybe highlight some points on why you should probably back it. And then I think those will be the two main topics. I don't know what else we'll hit about, but tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Geek Dad Life.
I believe I'll be co-hosting at some point soon.
I think so. John's tomorrow, and then Dan Larson is the following Sunday.
Okay.
And then John's back, and then you are the next, maybe, or is it Abby? No,
might be Jake. It's one of us.
It's basically all the guest spots from that point on are you, Jake, and Abby.
Okay, cool. It's gonna be a Toy Geeks party over there on Geek Dad Life. Well, listen, everybody, this was a lot of fun. We understand that you have a lot going on in your life, so the fact that you chose to hang out with us on a Saturday evening means the world to us. So thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, whether or not you're watching it live or later. We appreciate the support. For Mr. J, Mr. SpongeBob, and myself, don't forget next week we will not be on our normal time for Toy Anxiety. I actually thought about uploading a rerun.
Oh, that's a great idea. You should do get a viewer to edit together like favorite moments. Yeah, best of.
You know what? I wish somebody would. If somebody wants to put together the best, if you got 4 days to put together our best moments from the first half of this year, I actually thought about re-releasing our band episode.
Oh no!
But I don't even want to open that gate again.
Yeah.
But one thing I did think about doing, and I shouldn't even say this on air, I want to do a commentary on an old episode of Toy Anxiety, like a director's
Ooh, I like that idea.
So we're toying with some fun stuff, and then we'll be back on Halloween night. We're toying with some stuff. All right, Jay, have a great night. Bye, everybody. Not even going to play music. I'm just going to click end stream.
Hell out of here.